Hey everybody, I have a video here for you. Now, I'm doing this today for a special reason. I'll show you that towards the end of the video. But we are going to fly into Borobudur in Indonesia, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this pyramid. And I just want to back out really quickly. And I'm sure I have stated this in previous videos, but the sea level rise of about 400 feet coming at the end of the last ice age, there wasn't a region on Earth more greatly affected than this area of Indonesia here, and all this light blue here was probably above sea level back about 12,000 years ago, and they lost a lot of land mass when the sea levels rose. But zooming back into Borobudur here, this is a very famous ancient pyramid. And this is what it looks like. It's very unique. And I am just going to show you around just a few videos that were made shareable by their uploaders, so I appreciate that, and I will leave links for those channels below. And I'll show you a few pics, just set to music, and then I'll come back, do a little reading, and show you a few other things. So that was a good look at Borobudur, and once again I will leave the credits for those videos in the description. But what I want to do now is I want to read a little bit from Graham Hancock's book, Magicians of the Gods, where before writing about Borobudur, he just talks about a similarity of a pyramid in Indonesia, and he compared it to the pyramid of Kukulkan at Chichen Itza, And others, have put out the theory that the pyramid, why is it found all over the world? And is this just descended knowledge through time that was passed on from the survivors of an ancient culture that got destroyed at the end of the last ice age? That is one theory that you just have to look at with an open mind, based on pyramids all over the world, and a lot of those pyramids are built over older pyramids. But with that said, I just want to read here from Magicians of the God, and I recommend this book thoroughly. He goes on to write this. The signal, certainly an influence, is present at Borobudur, a temple pyramid consisting of 1.6 million blocks of volcanic andesite constructed over a period of 50 years from the last quarter of the 8th century to the first quarter of the 9th century AD. There is no dedication, inscription, indeed almost no inscription of any kind. This, however, undoubtedly is a Buddhist monument, a fact which one could hardly be in any doubt, since acres of exquisitely beautiful reliefs are devoted for the most part to the stories from the life of Buddha. Within Buddhist thought, it is to be regarded as a cosmic mountain, a sacred replica of the universe designed to lead the pilgrim to the realization of full enlightenment. Sambodhi, by which a bodhisattva becomes a Buddha, the ultimate goal of Buddhism. The devotee follows a path to the top of this mountain, keeping his right shoulder to the monument. Subsequently, his path brings him along the many galleries that shows panels with scenes in stone relief, of which the Buddhist character has become clear and which have been recognized to represent the ancient Buddhist texts. On this clockwise perambulation of the monument, gradually working your way up from the earth to the sky, you pass 504 life-size statues of the Buddha, of which 432 are found on the square step terraces, with the remaining 72 on the 3 circular terraces at the summit surrounding the great central stupa. In addition, calculations of the correct pilgrim route through the 4 bas relief galleries have shown that the direction of the path, as well as the number of times that each gallery must be walked, is determined by the bas reliefs on each side of the gallery walkway. In order to read the entire collection in the correct order, worshippers are compelled to complete a total of 10 circuits around the galleries in the clockwise direction. In so doing, each worshipper passes by the Buddha image an additional 2,160 times before reaching the summit entranceway. And it goes on to say, the reader will realize immediately that with these numbers we are back once again in the mysteriously insistent and universal numerical code described in previous chapters. This code, as we've seen, is based on the hard-to-observe phenomenon of the procession of the equinoxes that unfolds at a rate of 1 degree every 72 years, that sees the equinoctial sun housed in turn by each constellation of the zodiac for 2,160 years, and that is deployed to make the Great Pyramid of Giza a model of our planet on a scale of 1 to 43,200. And once again, remember that number 432 is present at Borobudur. It says, it's present also at Baalbek and at Göbekli Tepe, and now here at Borobudur, as well as in myths and tradition from all around the world, can only be explained by a remote common influence manifesting in all these places, and forms that almost unbelievable ancestor civilization identified by Giorgio de Santillana and Hertha von Dechen, that first dared to understand the world as created according to number, weight, and measure. It's my intuition, as I've suggested at several points throughout this book, that the lost civilization sent a signal to the future, indeed to us today in the 21st century, and that the carrier wave of this signal is the processional code. And it says 2 different means were used to ensure this signal's survival through the time, the second of which, the signal was hardwired into certain megalithic sites. Some were hidden in plain view, like the Giza complex, which successive cultures continued to work on and perfected for thousands of years, according to the divine canon. Others were buried in the ground, time capsules like Göbekli Tepe, and perhaps like that mysterious chamber beneath Gunung Padang, or Gunung Padang, I think it is pronounced, and primed for rediscovery when the time was right. There shall be memorials mighty of their handiwork upon the earth, the sacred sermon of Hermes tells us, leaving dim trace behind when cycles are renewed. And according to J.R.S. Mead, author of Gnostic work, he writes this: our attention is turned back to a time when a mighty race, devoted to growth and wisdom, lived on earth and left great monuments of their wisdom in the work of their hands, dim traces which were to be seen in the renewal of times. And that is just a little bit from Graham Hancock's Magicians of the Gods and the sacred number system put into many megalithic sites from around the world. Now, as well as being a Buddhist temple, did this pyramid have any other archaeoastronomy built into it that we can see where it was tracking the sun? And this pyramid is built on perfect north, south, east-west alignment. And I have showed this in one previous video, but this avenue going through the very middle, not sure how this would have been set up 1,000 years ago, but you can still see it today. And I want to take your eye on this line and where it points to in the distance. And on today's date, today is the vernal equinox in the northern hemisphere, so the southern hemisphere, it is their spring equinox. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think so. But here is where the sun comes up today, and this alignment of the Borobudur temple, this avenue going right through the middle, that middle stupa at a certain place, if you were looking at the sunrise today, it would have been lit up like a giant candle. There is definite archaeoastronomy built into the Borobudur temple, evident by today's alignment. I just wanted to show you that. But that is the Borobudur temple in Indonesia, and a little bit from Graham Hancock's book, Magicians of the Gods. And I am just going to cut it off there. I have run out of time and I got to get going, but this is where it is located in Indonesia, and there are more than a few ancient temples on this island, and I guess Borobudur lines up in a perfect line with a few of them, and I will try to leave a link for that information below too. But that is Borobudur, a look at it, and hope you thought this was interesting. You all have a nice day.